It was a cold, foggy evening when Mystery Inc. arrived in the small town of Hollowville, summoned to investigate the unsettling rumors surrounding Ravenswood Manor. The mansion loomed in the distance, a decayed giant shrouded in mist, its broken windows glinting faintly under the pale moonlight. The townsfolk whispered of ghostly lights and unearthly sounds emanating from within, urging everyone to keep their distance. Fred, ever the leader, stood at the gates of the manor, his flashlight cutting through the fog. "All right, team, let's figure out what's going on here," he said with determination. Velma adjusted her glasses, ready to document every detail. Daphne stood beside Fred, her poise unwavering, while Scooby and Shaggy hesitated behind the group, clutching each other nervously. As they stepped inside, the air grew heavier and a deep silence blanketed the room. The grand foyer stretched before them, its once lavish furnishings now covered in a thick layer of dust. Daphne's gaze fell on an antique mirror hanging at the far end of the hallway. Its surface was clouded, yet it seemed to flicker faintly, almost as if it held an image of something that wasn't there. Fred's flashlight caught the chandelier above, revealing strange mechanical contraptions attached to its base. Velma knelt to examine the floor and found scratch marks leading to the wall, suggesting that furniture had been frequently moved. Meanwhile, Shaggy and Scooby's noses led them to the kitchen, where a tapestry concealed what appeared to be a hidden door. The hidden door creaked open, revealing a staircase that descended into darkness. Fred led the way, his flashlight flickering against the damp stone walls. The group entered a subterranean library, its shelves lined with dusty books and strange artifacts. Daphne's fingers brushed against a journal filled with faded, cryptic notes about alchemical experiments. Velma discovered a detailed map of the mansion, its secret passages marked with red ink. As Fred examined the room for clues, Scooby and Shaggy feigned interest, only to jump at the sound of chains clinking in the distance. Their startled yelps echoed through the chamber, drawing the group's attention. In the library's dim light, an unsettling presence made itself known. A hooded figure emerged from the shadows, holding a flickering candelabra. Its voice boomed, "Leave this place or face the consequences," before disappearing in a swirl of smoke. Fred tried to follow but was stopped by a locked passage. Velma's keen eyes noticed faint footprints leading to a secret exit. "This way," she said, her voice steady. Daphne's adventurous spirit spurred her forward, while Fred began forming a plan to trap the mysterious figure. Scooby and Shaggy, reluctant to follow, were coaxed with the promise of an enormous sandwich. The team found themselves in a narrow hallway leading back toward the mansion's main hall. The space was suffocatingly tight, and every sound seemed amplified in the dark. Fred paused to inspect the walls, noticing faint grooves that could indicate hidden panels. Daphne found a broken oil lamp on the floor, its glass cracked but its base strangely warm. Velma reviewed the map, tracing their path to ensure they stayed on track. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy lagged behind, nervously glancing over their shoulders. A sudden gust of cold air sent them running ahead, knocking over a pile of debris in their haste. The main hall was a spectacle of chaos when they entered. The chandelier above swung erratically, casting eerie shadows that danced along the cracked walls. Strobe lights flickered unpredictably, creating a disorienting atmosphere. At the center of the room, the hooded figure reappeared, its shadow stretching unnaturally across the room. Fred approached cautiously, only to notice that the figure's movements didn't align with its surroundings. "It's a projection," he whispered. Daphne scanned the room and uncovered a concealed control panel behind a decayed tapestry. Velma, tracing the wires from the panel, identified a trapdoor leading to an underground space. Shaggy and Scooby, ever clumsy, fell through the trapdoor while trying to avoid the ghostly figure. They landed on a pile of old cushions in a dimly lit basement. Around them were scattered tools, fragments of machinery, and what appeared to be costume pieces. Fred, Daphne, and Velma followed shortly after, piecing together the scattered clues. Velma discovered blueprints for holographic projections, while Daphne unearthed a collection of newspaper clippings detailing mysterious disappearances tied to the mansion. Fred, now certain of foul play, began devising a way to expose the culprit. The basement was a labyrinth of forgotten secrets. The group stumbled upon a series of old film reels and a projector still functional despite its age. Daphne loaded one of the reels, and the grainy footage revealed a man, Walter Grimsby, the mansion's caretaker, working on elaborate mechanical devices. "This must be our guy," Fred said, his suspicion confirmed. Velma noted a ledger detailing shipments of equipment used for creating special effects. Scooby and Shaggy, still on edge, accidentally activated a sound system, filling the space with eerie laughter that echoed endlessly. The team regrouped and returned to the main hall, where Fred set a trap using the mansion's built-in mechanisms. Daphne deactivated the strobe lights to improve visibility, while Velma prepared to capture evidence. Scooby and Shaggy, tasked with luring the hooded figure into the trap, hesitated until Fred promised them a pizza feast. With bait in place, the team hid, waiting for the figure to appear. Their patience was rewarded when the shadowy figure emerged, drawn by the sounds of movement. Fred's trap was triggered as the chandelier descended, blocking the figure's escape. The hooded figure thrashed wildly, but was unable to break free. Daphne swiftly pulled back the hood, revealing Walter Grimsby's twisted in frustration. "And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids," he spat, glaring at the group. Velma stepped forward to explain how the holographic projections and sound effects were orchestrated to scare off intruders. Scooby and Shaggy, finally realizing the ghost was human, let out a collective sigh of relief. As the gang gathered the evidence, they marveled at how the pieces fit together. Velma's deductions confirmed that Grimsby had been using the mansion as a front to hide stolen treasures he had collected over the years. Daphne admired the ingenuity of their teamwork, noting how every clue led them closer to the truth. Fred called the authorities to report Grimsby's crimes, ensuring the stolen artifacts would be returned to their rightful owners. With the mystery solved, the team emerged from Ravenswood Manor as the first rays of dawn pierced through the fog. The air seemed lighter, and the once ominous mansion now looked like a relic of the past, stripped of its supernatural aura. Fred reflected on the night's events, praising the group's resilience. Daphne lightened the mood with a playful quip, while Velma shared her satisfaction in uncovering the truth. Scooby and Shaggy, as always, celebrated with snacks, their fears forgotten. As they prepared to leave Hollowville, Velma couldn't resist glancing back at the mansion. Despite solving the case, she couldn't shake the feeling that Ravenswood still held secrets yet to be uncovered. Fred's focus was already shifting to their next adventure, while Daphne admired the tranquil beauty of the morning. Scooby and Shaggy, lounging in the mystery machine, joked about needing a vacation with extra-large sandwiches. Driving away, the team discussed the lessons learned from their latest mystery. Velma suggested documenting their adventures in greater detail, while Fred emphasized the importance of trust and teamwork. Daphne, ever the optimist, looked forward to the challenges ahead. Scooby and Shaggy, half asleep from their feast, chimed in with a sleepy Dooby-Doo, earning laughs from their friends. As the mystery machine disappeared down the winding road, the mansion stood in silence, its windows reflecting the golden hues of dawn. Yet, a faint shadow passed through one of its broken windows, hinting that perhaps the story of Ravenswood Manor was not entirely over. The dense fog swirled ominously as the mystery machine rolled into the driveway of the old Grayson Hotel. Its towering structure, framed against the night sky, seemed to groan under the weight of its secrets. Inside the van, tension was thick as Velma adjusted her glasses, her notebook already brimming with observations. "The stories about this place are chilling," she muttered. Daphne, her vibrant purple dress catching the dim light, leaned forward with excitement. That's what makes it thrilling. Let's crack this mystery. Shaggy and Scooby exchanged nervous glances, clutching each other while Fred, ever the leader, laid out their plan. All right, gang, let's split up and cover more ground. The group stepped cautiously into the dimly lit lobby, its grand chandelier swaying faintly as if disturbed by an unseen force. Daphne's keen eye caught a peculiar painting of a woman above the fireplace. Her piercing gaze seemed to follow their every move. "Velma, take a look at this," Daphne called out, and together they examined the ornate frame. Meanwhile, Shaggy and Scooby tiptoed towards the kitchen, drawn by faint whispers and the lingering scent of something sweet. "Like, I think we're not alone," Shaggy whispered, trembling. Fred and Velma explored the upper floors, finding rooms untouched by time, yet unnervingly pristine. A broken mirror in one suite displayed strange symbols etched into the cracks. Velma snapped a picture, her mind racing to connect the dots. "This isn't random," she murmured. On the other hand, Daphne and Shaggy stumbled upon an abandoned ballroom, its grandeur masked by cobwebs. Scooby sniffed the air, growling low. "What's wrong, boy?" Daphne asked, her voice steady despite the eerie tension. The mystery deepened when they found a secret staircase behind a bookcase in the library. Velma led the way, flashlight in hand, illuminating a path of eerie portraits lining the narrow corridor. Daphne followed close behind, her determination unwavering. The staircase led to an underground lab filled with ancient artifacts and dusty journals. Velma, her analytical side taking over, deciphered the fragmented notes. These experiments, they were trying to harness energy from the afterlife. No wonder this place is haunted. As the night wore on, the ghostly figure of a woman appeared, her mournful wail echoing through the halls. Fred quickly coordinated a plan to corner the spirit. With Daphne's intuition, Velma's deductions, and Fred's trap-setting skills, they worked as a flawless team. Shaggy and Scooby, despite their usual cowardice, managed to lure the ghost into the trap with their love for snacks, holding their ground in a surprising burst of bravery. When the mask was pulled off, the ghost turned out to be the hotel's former manager, desperate to keep people away from uncovering her illicit operations. Velma pieced together the clues that revealed her motive-hidden treasures buried beneath the hotel's foundation. The gang shared a moment of triumph as the authorities took the culprit away, leaving behind an air of satisfaction that only a solved mystery could bring. The Grayson Hotel, once an ominous enigma, now stood as a testament to the gang's courage and ingenuity. As the mystery machine rolled away into the night, Fred glanced back at the fading silhouette of the hotel. Another mystery solved. "Where to next?" he asked with a smile. Velma adjusted her glasses, ready with her next theory. Daphne leaned back, a satisfied glow on her face. And Shaggy and Scooby? They were already dreaming of their next meal, their fear replaced by the comfort of friendship. The dense fog outside seemed to carry whispers of past mysteries as the gang reviewed their adventure. Daphne's fingers traced the edges of an old map found in the hotel's library. "This might lead to another clue," she suggested, her curiosity igniting the room. Velma, ever logical, nodded thoughtfully. "It could explain the strange symbols we saw earlier." Scooby perked up, wagging his tail as Fred unfolded the map further, revealing markings that hinted at a hidden trail nearby. "Gang, it looks like this mystery isn't over yet," Fred announced, energizing the group. Shaggy, still munching on a leftover sandwich, groaned. "Like, can't we take a snack break first?" They decided to follow the map the next morning, parking the mystery machine at the edge of a dense forest. The towering trees cast long shadows, and the air buzzed with the sounds of unseen creatures. Daphne led the way, her confident strides inspiring the others to keep up. Velma paused occasionally to jot down notes about the unusual flora they encountered. Fred's flashlight revealed an old, overgrown pathway. "This must be it," he said, stepping cautiously onto the trail. Scooby sniffed the ground, letting out a low growl when they came across a set of fresh footprints. "Like, are we being followed?" Shaggy asked nervously, sticking close to Scooby. The trail led to a clearing where the ruins of an ancient structure stood. Velma's eyes lit up as she recognized markings similar to those in the hotel's journals. "This place is connected to the hotel's history," she declared. Daphne approached the crumbling doorway, pushing it open to reveal a hidden chamber filled with more artifacts and a cryptic message etched into the wall. The message hinted at a treasure guarded by traps and illusions. Fred, ever the strategist, devised a plan to navigate the obstacles. Daphne's sharp eyes and Velma's analytical mind worked in tandem, deciphering the clues, while Shaggy and Scooby provided comic relief by accidentally triggering harmless traps. After hours of careful exploration, they discovered a hidden vault containing the treasure, a collection of priceless relics and documents revealing the true history of the Grayson family. Velma pieced together the story, uncovering a tale of greed, betrayal, and redemption that had been lost to time. As the gang emerged from the ruins, the first light of dawn broke through the trees, casting a golden glow on their triumphant faces. Fred placed the treasure safely in the van, and Daphne snapped a photo to commemorate the moment. "Another mystery solved," Velma said with a satisfied smile. Shaggy and Scooby, relieved the adventure was over, cheered, like, "Time for breakfast." With their bond stronger than ever, the gang drove off, ready to face whatever mystery awaited them next.